Most of the time, driving in your car is pretty chill. I mean, yeah, you have to pay attention to traffic, but otherwise you're just sitting down, enjoying the AC, listening to some music. Oh, maybe you have an iced matcha. But for the professionals who race cars at 150 miles an hour for 90 minutes straight, driving is a physical and mental challenge on par with competing in the Olympics or taking a trip to space. Today, I'm going to tell you the science behind what happens to the human body when they're driving a race car. Hey, I'm Miranda Cosgrove, and welcome to my STEM Loft, where the landlord said no dogs, but he didn't say anything about geckos. So I'm going to try my luck. Auto racing has been a sport for almost as long as there have been automobiles. And while the cars racing in the 1890s were averaging 11 miles an hour, open-wheeled race cars like you find in Formula One or Indy car leagues today can zip around at over 200 miles per hour. One of the biggest things drivers have to deal with is G-forces. And guess what G stands for? Gravity. Some people guess gravy, but it's gravity. Okay, so what are G-forces? You might remember from science class Isaac Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion at constant speed and in a straight line, unless acted on by an unbalanced force. So if there's a soccer ball on a field just chilling, it'll just chill there unmoving until some force acts on it. And an asteroid flying through the galaxy at 1,000,000 miles an hour will keep going that speed in a straight line, again, until an outside force acts on it. This property of matter is called inertia, and it basically means things resist changing what they're doing. Okay, back to gravity. On Earth, gravity is always pulling us downwards at 9.8 meters per second squared. This means if you were falling, every second your speed would get faster by 9.8 meters per second. But standing on the ground, our bones and muscles and such push back on the ground. So it feels normal. This is called 1G, and it's the baseline for other G-force measurements. If you weigh 100 pounds, 1 G-force feels like 100 pounds to you. But when we speed up or slow down quickly, the inertia of our body makes it feel like there's more pressure. If you weigh 100 pounds and you're feeling 2 Gs, it's like 200 pounds of pressure. When a race car driver steps on the gas to start the race, it can feel like 3 to 4 Gs, which is about what you'd feel as an astronaut during a space shuttle launch. But going forward is the easy part. Going around tight turns and quick braking can cause the body to experience up to 6 Gs, and that's where the real physical stress comes in. In a 6G turn, your neck tries to hold steady a head and helmet that feels 6 times heavier than normal. So your muscles that are used to supporting your 15-pound head and helmet suddenly have to withstand 90 pounds. It's why pro drivers do exercises to train their core and neck muscles, like attaching weights to their head and using special bands or harnesses. And why if someone normal like me tried to drive an F1 car, my noggin would be flopping around like a bobblehead. But drivers don't just train their necks. Pressing the brakes can take over 200 pounds of force, and this happens hundreds of times in a race. So drivers have to have beefy legs too. And while the G-force stress on the body from normal driving is impressive, the stress from an accident can be incredible. In 2003, Indy car driver Kenny Breck survived a 214G crash. Safety has only improved since then, and while crashes and injuries still happen, actual fatalities are thankfully extremely rare. Even under ideal conditions, G-forces also take a toll on another muscle, the heart. The blood in our veins and arteries are liquid, and when high G-forces move the blood one way or another, the heart has to do extra work to keep the blood going to where it needs to be, like the brain. So even though a driver is sitting down, their heart might be pumping at more than 170 beats per minute, similar to a high-level marathon runner. All that blood pumping and muscle flexing and metabolic processes add heat to an already scorching car. The tires of a race car will be over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, getting hot enough to boil water. The brakes can hit over 1,800 degrees, sometimes catching fire. and the exhaust from the engine can reach 4,700 degrees Fahrenheit. This means even with advanced tech like cooling shirts with tubes of chilled liquid, the cockpit where the driver sits can get up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. On top of that, the drivers can't really sweat normally since they're covered in a fire-retardant suit, gloves, underwear, socks, boots, and helmet. Sweating is actually one of the main ways we humans regulate our temperature. Turning liquid water into water vapor takes energy in the form of heat. When some of the water molecules get excited enough to evaporate into the surrounding air, they take some of that heat with them, leaving us cooler. The drivers sweat so much that when they're weighed after a race, they've often lost 3 to 4% of their body weight. Due to the heat and humidity, one of the toughest races physically is the Singapore Grand Prix, where drivers often lose between 7 and 8 pounds. To stay hydrated, drivers have a small bag of water and a pump that sends their drink through a tube into their helmet. But some drivers even skip this to save weight. It's also just water and some electrolytes. I'd ask for lemonade, but that's probably why I haven't been asked to be on the team yet. An open-wheeled race car can cost $20 million, and engineers are always working to make the cars faster, more responsive, and safer. And while these cars are triumphs of automotive engineering and cutting-edge material science, at their heart, they're driven by humans, just like you and me. Well, not exactly like you and me. I mean, their necks are like way stronger.
Hey, it's Miranda Cosgrove, your favorite host of Mission Unstoppable. I'm the only host. And if you want to watch awesome STEM videos and exclusive Mission Unstoppable clips, just make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.